So traders, I want to share something with you what's happening on the real big picture, big long-term picture that I think most people are completely not seeing. And I'm pretty sure you saw from the title and the thumbnail of this video, there's been a great shift over the last, pretty sure 40 years. Right now in the last, say, 5 years, there's been a great shift that's actually happening underneath our surface that I don't think most people are actually not only recognizing, but getting prepared for what's to come. And that's what I want to share with you in today's video. Don't place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. So let's actually, what I want to share this. I want to talk to you about what interest rates are doing. I've just been doing some analysis on interest rates here long term. And the really big, interesting thing that I'm noticing with interest rates, check this out. So I've got the daily chart to the left, and as we can see on the short-term level, guess what's been happening? We've been, it's interesting as even trend analysis works on high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, right? All the way down. So you can see like the interest rates are really been this last 10 years anyway. The 10 year has been pretty flat, right? It's been pretty flat all through here. Now, the really big thing that I'm seeing is that I always try to step back, right? And by the way, I try to do this with life in general, okay? And what I mean by that is that I always try to step back and say, okay, then this is happening right now. This is pretty crap right now. I'm going through a whole bunch of crap, right? And when I do, and guess what? We all go through it, right? I'm going through something right now myself. You're probably going through stuff right now. So I always try to think, okay, then where am I going to be 3 months from now? And what do I need to do today to start working through this issue, through this problem, so I can get on the other side as quickly as possible, right? It might take a week to get through, a couple of weeks, maybe a month to get through. Okay, I mentally got to be prepared for that. Now I'm focusing on that. Now I'm going to be focusing on, okay, this is what's happening right now. This is what I need to start doing to get momentum past this problem, past this issue. And I need to keep going until I get past this issue, right? So, and that's the way that I'm always working with life in general. And also, just in the big picture, the reason why I stuck with trading when I first started trading, even though I lost $250,000, the reason why I did do that was because I was always thinking about where am I going to be 10 years from now. And that's the reason why I'm sharing this with you here, is that I don't think a lot of people are seeing what's going on right now on the real big long-term picture here. And so we're seeing this happening on the short term. This is the daily charts. Obviously you have a lot of move here. But if I bring up these weekly charts here, right? And if I squeeze my charts up, you probably saw this on the thumbnail. But as you know, interest rates back here in 1940 into 1980, obviously we know interest rates went crazy, right? And now we've been going down, all this picture through here. But look what's happening through here. This doesn't happen by accident. What does this actually mean? Firstly, we've been making and I know this sounds really crazy, I don't know. We've been making significant lower highs all the way down on this market here, right? That's the first thing I do say, is we make a significant lower highs all the way down. Now, here's also the big thing. We just broke up above this trend line that's been here, that really started back in the mid sort of 1980s, right? 1987, as you can see here. But really the downward movement actually started where? Where was the peak? In 1980, right? At the end of 1970. And we know the reasons why this big move in rates happened. Why did this big move in rates happen? Obviously because inflation went out of control. All right, which I believe we're in something really similar right now, but I won't get to that. I want to focus on the rates in this video. But as we can see, this look at this here. Now, what does that actually mean? Firstly, we had one big move up, right? Now, if you were a technician, right, and you had your trend line coming down through here, and you had the market bouncing off here, and we had a rally like that, and now we're coming back down. What would you expect as a technician? Now, what do I mean by that? Technical analysis within the market. That's what I mean by technician, right? Technical analysis within the market. What do I mean by that? What would you expect? You expect, oh, we'll break through. It's probably going to come down, test it, and then continue back up, right? Now do you see why the great shift over 40 years? Is that 40 years? 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010. Yeah, so 40 years. This is the 40-year period here. Look what's happening right now. Over the last 40 years, and the great shift is starting to take place right now. And that is, this is the big long-term picture. This doesn't mean tomorrow, right? As you can see, like this whole thing is a weekly chart. This is back This is here is 4 years in total. What does that actually mean? Okay, what does that actually mean? Right. So we can see that we have a big move up. We're probably likely to come back down to where? When we do come back down, we're probably going to come back down to this level somewhere around about here, which also goes inside of a lot of support level through there. And then guess what's going to happen? We're probably going to go through, interest rates are probably going to come down, and something is going to cause this where the interest rates are going to start to go up. And we're going to be starting a brand new trend. The last 40 years we've had this. The next 20 years, we're going to start to see something like that through there. So if you think interest rates are high now, then wait till you see what happens over the next 20 years, right? As things start to build up from here. I don't believe we're not going to have low rates all the time, especially when we start to go through the next shift that I do see. And this also happened on this also, as you can see here, this is the 30-year rate. Look at this here. Back in the late 1980s, we've been going down, 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 down. We've had this massive downward trend. Let's see if I can bring this down through here a bit more. There we go, right? This massive downward trend through here for 40 years. This is going back to late. This is going back to late 1988. But look at this here, almost 40 years, and now we're getting a massive breakup above this. The reason why I drew the Fibonacci levels is because therefore we're probably likely to be coming down to these levels around here somewhere, maybe the 50 to 60% level, maybe even quickly have a flush down through here. And then what are we likely to expect? Right, something like that to happen. The next movement on this here is going to be absolutely amazing. And that's what I wanted to share with you guys. And so whatever you guys are thinking right now about interest rates and so on and so forth, when you step back, right, when you step back and you look at the forest from the trees, you start to see the trees right now, right. And so the trees right now, they're getting a little bit shaky, right? But they're going to start to really boom, all right? And the really big thing, there's actually two sides of the coin there, right? What's probably going to happen over the next 20 years? We're probably not going to get as big of a move in stock market and property markets, right? Like we've seen in the last 40 years. It's drastic changes, right? Why? Because now a lot of people are saying, I can get a 6, 7, 8% interest rate out of the bank. We're probably going to go back to those times, right? $1 million in the bank, you're probably going to get what? You're probably going to make $80,000 per year, right? Just on the interest there. If you have $2 million, now you're making $160,000 a year, and you can probably live comfortably off that, right? That's what used to happen many decades ago. But now we know what's been happening with everything there. But I believe the shift is going to start to take place where I believe maybe right now we're in that last sort of leg in the stock market, last sort of boom, especially with everything just going crazy, right? Stock market going booming. We've still got property market still being pretty strong. But I truly believe that something big is happening at the surface, and then looking at now 20 years from now, what I call it, maybe like AI, the 2040 level, 2035, 2040 level. I believe this is a massive shift that's actually starting to take place just underneath our feet.